Well, guys, here we are again. It's that time of year. It's shed season, one of my favorite times of the year. This is going to be probably my first walk of the season here. It's pretty early, but we have a couple good-sized bucks that have dropped already. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. But I kind of got to be stealthy, kind of sneak through and look for these sheds because there's still some bucks that I would like to find. They're not quite as big, but I'd still like to pick up their antlers. But yeah, first walk of the season here. I'm pumped. It's cold. It's super windy, so I apologize. The audio here today may not be the best, but hopefully we pick up something. I'm going to show first a quick clip of about a week ago. Weren't even shed hunting. We were just checking some cams, putting some new batteries and cameras, and did pick up a shed the other day. Without really even looking. So I'll play that clip here real quick, and then we'll get back to this shed hunt today. So, all right, let's get after it. I usually do a couple video series of shed season every year. So if you like shed videos, please like and subscribe, and you'll keep updated when I post more shed videos this year. Hopefully we'll get some more videos for you. I'll tell you right off the bat that I don't pick up a ton of sheds each year. I'm mostly looking for certain bucks, certain big bucks. If I find some other sheds on the way, that's awesome. But a lot of these areas that I'm shed hunting, they're not a high deer density area. We're down here in the hill country, southeast Ohio hill country, big timber. It's hard to find these sheds when you don't have like a major food source where they're all collected to. So it's hard to find these sheds, but on top of it, there's not a lot of deer to even be finding anyway. So yeah, so all right guys, stay tuned, we'll see what we can do. All right, well, here we are down at the 90 some acres piece. Just came with my dad. We're just dropping off some corn just to keep some deer around, and I had a feeling today. I was like, you know what, I got a feeling we're gonna find a shed. I still got a lot of bucks holding, but I got this one buck. I call him the Bully 8. He's 6 years old. He's nothing special. Actually, he went downhill quite a bit here this year, but he lost his antlers right around muzzleloader season. Otherwise, we would have tried to have my wife shoot him, but he shed out right before muzzleloader season, so he was off limits, obviously. But I walk up and I see his left side laying right here. Man, it's already chewed. Just for people that don't know, here in southeast Ohio, we got quite a bit of snow the last couple weeks here, and guaranteed this shed was buried, but maybe the tips might have been sticking out, and looks like it got chewed up pretty good. But it's probably been laying for about a month, but it's chewed up already pretty bad. But we'll check it out here. All right, so here's one of the main food plots here down at this property. I usually have this in clover. I might be switching this to alfalfa this year. I did let it go fallow more this year. I just wanted to see how well it did. Still lots of clover in that field, but this is actually just a transition point. You'll see a nice trail here, a bit of a fence jump up there, but as you can see right there, got some tines sticking up, buried under some leaves. But this is the Bully 8's shed, and he's nothing special. Nothing special, but I actually have his sheds from the year before. But yeah, it got chewed up pretty good already. But yeah, he's nothing crazy. He went downhill quite a bit this year, but 6-year-old buck. I'm gonna take a picture of this real quick and we'll pick it up. All right, yep, let's pick it up. First shed of the year for me. Good mass. He's always had good mass, but look at that. I mean, he's nothing special, that's for sure. He's always had a pretty poor rack, in my opinion. This is obviously his poorest he's ever had, but he's went downhill quite a bit, but good mass. I'm sure I'll post some pictures here of his past year's sheds in the video here. If you watched my last year video, I picked up, I don't remember what side it was. I don't know if it was this side or not. But you can go back and watch that if you'd like. But all right, guys, number one for the year, starting it off. All right, cool. All right, we'll keep walking here. Never actually found one on the fence jump. You see where they hop it, and check out that trail right through the food plot. Right through the food plot. It's pretty cool. All right, I'm not even shed hunting today, really. I knew there was a chance we could pick one up or something, but as I said, a lot of my deer still have their antlers, so I'm not really looking hard at all. But we just kind of came putting batteries and cameras. You know, I like to keep an update on, or I like to keep tabs on what deer are still holding. Once I see some of the better deer drop, I'll come out and start looking. So that's kind of what we're doing, just checking cameras, putting new batteries in, you know, things like that. But I knew this one could be close, so as we pull up, I just look down and it's just sitting there. So yep, number one in the season right there. Cool. Old Bully 8. Just trying to figure out what he's eating on. Yeah, maybe he's just drinking water. Boy, you mess on a fire there. That's cool. Never know what you're gonna see. I ain't getting any closer. Dude just sitting there eating something. Probably chewing on a freaking antler. No. Alright guys, sorry about the wind, but here's just another shed that we picked up on the same property that we picked up the Bully 8 shed. Just a little 8-point shed that was in our food plot. Alright, cool. Just a little rub line action here. Pretty good rubs here. Always a lot of rubs in these pines. These pines were actually planted by us, including me, back when I was about 5 years old. We carried all these up a hill, and we actually planted every single one of these, so that's why they're planted, you know, in nice straight lines. Yeah. And you can just hear this wind howling. But here's a couple more rubs for you. Says, man, they always hit this every year. Hit some of these pines. Old turkey blind up there. Thing's been here for probably 30, 40 years. Gotta love seeing like those old stands and old blinds that have been sitting in the woods for years. It's always cool to see. Alright, well, got our first find of the day. And of course I'm walking into the sun, and anybody that's watched my shed videos in the past know how I feel about walking into the sun. I hate walking in with having all the glare, but looks like we got a casualty here. Young little buck. Just a little buck. Yeah, this little guy right on this bedding ridge here. Yeah, I'm just going to let him lay. No reason to call the game warden to get a salvage tag for that little dude. So, alright, keep moving on. Alright, so it looks like we finally found us a shed here. At least I think it's a shed. I don't even know how I sold this thing. I'll show you right here. Little flat here. Little bedding flat. There's a bed right over here. I'll show you where it's at. Right close to this tree over here. And I was thinking, I'm like, man, this deer is bedded real close to the edge here. A lot of times these bucks, when they shed in a bed, it's not while they're laying. It's whenever they stand up one of the first things a buck does, or a deer in general, one of the first things they do when they snap out of a bed is you'll see them, they'll kind of stretch, bristle up, and a lot of times they'll kind of shake their head back and forth. And a lot of times the antlers go flinging whenever they do that. I know this just from we raise deer, just from seeing them get up out of beds constantly. It's something they typically do. And I was thinking, it's so close to the edge here, this bed's so close to the edge, man, he could fling it. It could go rolling down over the hill. And a lot of antlers, I think, end up doing that anyways. And when they're on this slope, they kind of get buried by the leaves. You don't even see them. Well, I'm pretty sure I have a shed here. It looks like a good one. I have no idea what deer this is. I don't know if it's even a this year shed, but it's buried in the leaves. And I'll show you exactly what I saw. I don't even know how I saw this thing. Alright, so we do have a bed here. This is a bed right here. Close to this tree. Good sized bed. Good sized bed. And I look down, and let me see if I can zoom in. That's all I see right there. This is where I'm at. Just couple little tines, and for once the sun actually helps me out, and it actually lit up those tines. You can see just a couple little tines sticking up there, buried in the leaves. Let's go check it out. Like I said, I don't even know if this is this year's. It doesn't look familiar from what I can see so far. Let's see if I don't fall here. Looks a little chewed, so we'll see. That looks like a last year's. Let's see here. Let's get in here. Let's get in here and see. Ooh, awesome, awesome. This is the buck. This is the buck I was actually walking this exact spot for. Short G210. Awesome. I can't tell if it's this year's or not. I mean, this is this year. He's a 4-year-old deer. Not giant, not a big deer. Short G210, but honestly, he looks identical. He's looked identical the same way the last 2 or 3 years, and I don't know if this is this year's or not. Good looking shed. Man, he got chewed up. He got chewed up pretty good. But, as you guys saw earlier, I did have a shed that I found. It's been laying since January. It did get chewed up pretty good. So, I mean, this could be this year's. I'm not sure. Like I said, he looks identical. He's looked identical the last 2 or 3 years, so I'm not sure. But I'm going to guess that was his bed up there. He's got good mass. I'll give him that. He's got good mass. I passed him up last year. I can show the clip of me passing him last year before I shot my non-typical buck. And like I said, not sure if this is this year's or not. But awesome. Alright guys, so there he is. Short G210 pump. This is one of the really only 2 bucks I was really looking for today. And his bed is probably right here. Like I said, there was a bed over there right up against that tree. Looks like there's a bed right behind me here. Probably stood up, shook his head, flung the antler down over the hill, got caught in the trees and the limbs down there. I mean, his other shed could be here. It might be down over the hill, or maybe he didn't lose it together. But I'll tell you what helped me big time finding this shed and this deer in general is running my trail cameras. Last picture I have of this buck with antlers was January 21st, and he was actually he was heading that way. So he was coming from here in the evening, heading to a food plot. So that was telling me that he must have been bedding around in here. I just wasn't sure if it was the other side of the hill or this side. And go figure, this is the southeast facing hillside, which is like my best pretty much my best spots to find these big mature buck sheds is your southeast facing hillsides. In this area, this is your kind of your leeward side, your leeward side. We got a lot of southwest winds, so your wind's blowing right up over top of the hill. We're on the first tier from the top. This buck was probably bedded right here, looking down over. Got the wind up over his back probably, and he was probably facing that direction. And boom, right there's a shed. So every year I find them on your southeast facing hillsides. Sun comes up in the morning, probably a morning bed spot. Sun comes up, in the east. More of your southeast facing is going to be the first one that gets sunlight, and your south facing slopes are going to get the most sunlight altogether. In this time of year. Ton of oaks. You see there's a ton of oaks here, probably eating acorns, going to food plots, but honestly, he probably beds here all year long, which I have pictures of him all year long coming from this direction. So yeah, cool. Getting a lot of scouting done, finding the mature bucks we're looking for. At least 4 years old, maybe older. Was thinking about shooting him this year, but he's got good mass. Doesn't have the time length that I was really hoping for, but he lives another year, so we'll see. But yeah, cool. All right, guys, so that's probably gonna do it for me for today. I'm gonna stop for today. Just a quick little walk here. I say quick; it was a couple hours, but kind of just try to do some cherry picking today. Just went and just checking on some beds. So we found the one. Found the one buck, at least one side. I'm still going to walk a ton of this here the rest of the season, so hopefully we'll match this guy up. But yeah, just went and tried to cherry pick some beds. So go ahead and like and subscribe if you want to see some more. Alright, on to the next day here. We'll see you here in a couple days.